Hello everyone, welcome back. Savage is here, coming back with part 2. Gives a freaking sugar about it. Today I don't really feel that hot, so... Well, I gone for about I don't know how long, and I had some problems, yada yada, blah blah blah. Problems, blah blah. Who give a shit about it? So, since I really, doesn't feel like it and I had some free time, I decided why not to do the only thing that makes me happy in this world, which is ruining some people's lives with my videos. So, for this video, I wish we can, get a specific number of likes, let's see, how many, let me think a bit. Oh yeah, why don't we, let's see if we can get, 1 like on this video. Good? Good. Yeah, alrighty. Now, where we last left off, Midoriya have gone on a day with his foe. If you get the joke. Which is basically Ami Kageyama, the girl that tried to kill him, kill his mother, kill his friends, and 150 other persons. And in the end he spared her life because, well, he's a hero, and I don't give a fuck if he's gonna kill her or not. Either way, other than that, she just left and tried to talk with Midoriya a bit, to get to know him better and to atone for her sins. And now let's just skip the rest of the 2 weeks training, because I think we already had enough filler episode for one series. And now, in the morning after Izuku got into his school, by the help of Kami, because, well, Kami normally walks with him to school since Felix still having his legs injured in the hospital. Izuku walking with Kami to the school while she's saying, "So today is the sport festival? I'll be cheering you on from the seats. I hope that you'll win. Remember our training, Midoriya. It's been quite a nice 2 weeks with you." As Izuku said, "Yeah, thanks. Although I'm not really sure about it if I can do it. I'm a bit nervous." As Ami said, "Don't be. I'm sure you'll do your best. You'll be perfect at..." what was the word again? As she taken her little small notebook, reading the word inside of it said, "I'm sure you're gonna kick their asses there." Am I saying it right? As Izuku said, "You're saying it right, don't worry about it, Kami." As Izuku said, "Well, see you later?" As Kami said, "Well, see you later, I think." As Izuku was about to go before he heard a sound from behind saying, "Well, would you look what we have here? It's Midoriya, is it?" As Izuku turning around to see Kirishima with Uraka and Ida walking with them. As Ida said, "Midoriya, good morning." "Good morning, Midoriya," Uraka said. As Izuku said, "Oh, hey guys." As Kirishima immediately pumped fist with Midoriya saying, "What's up, bro? So, what were you doing in the past 2 weeks? Going around saving some peoples, I see?" As Izuku said, what do you mean?" As Uraka said, "Don't act so stupid, we saw the news. You helped that, hero to save civilians, 150%. That's such a great feat." As Ida said, "Yes. But more surprisingly, I never knew that Felix, your friend, is a hero." As Izuku said in his mind, "Yeah, I myself didn't know." Either way, Kirishima said, "Boy, people are gonna love seeing you in the sports festival today after what you've done. I'm sure that a lot of eyes will be looking at you specifically." As, Kirishima coming closer saying, "The whole country will be watching you from all around. How does that make you feel?" As Izuku started laughing nervously saying, "Absolutely nervous, that's how I feel." As Uraka said, "Well, let's do our best." As, well, she coming closer said, "I hope you'll be, have a good time, Midoriya, am I right?" As Izuku said, "Yeah, let's try enjoy this, shall?" As before we continue, they hear someone coughing saying, as Ida turning into his left to see a girl with the red hair and yellow eyes. As she said, "Excuse me, but we were talking. It's really rude to cut someone while he's speaking." As Ida said, as Kirishima said, "Who are you? You don't seem from our school." As Uraka said, "Yeah, are you from around here? As Izuku said, oh yeah, I forgot to introduce you. As Izuku standing by the side of Ami that have an actual very annoyed look on her face. Staring daggers into the three of them, as Izuku said, this is Ami Kageyama. She's a student at House Peak Academy. We met a couple of, like 1 week before while I was training, and we got to know each other and became friends. As well, Ami said, nice to meet all of you. As Ida, Kirishima, and Uraka are like, oh. Kirishima said, well, any friends of Midoriya is a friend of mine. Name's Kirishima. Nice meeting you. As Uraka said, yeah, nice meeting you. As Uraka holding her hand for Ami to shake it. As Ami looking at her, and Uraka looking at Ami. As Izuku said, this is the point where you shake her hand? As Ami said, yes, of course. As Ami just shaking Uraka's hand saying, it's really nice knowing you, Uraka. As Uraka said, nice knowing you too. As Ida said, well, either way. Are you here to support Midoriya? As Ami said, well, indeed I am. I'm here to support him because I know quite well that he'll be the winner. As Kirishima said, well, look, I don't underestimate Midoriya's power, but if someone will gonna win the sport festival, it's gonna be me. As Ami said, that's very unlikely. Your quirk hardening, maybe it's making you a strong weapon and a strong shield, but you are breakable. And with enough force you can be cracked easily. Just like a bottle of glass can be cracked by throwing it against the wall. As Kirishima said, when did she know about my quirk? As she continues saying, I know all about three of you, Midoriya's best three friends. Ochako Uraka, a girl with a quirk that allowed her to make any object she touched have a zero gravity on it. However, eventually it will gonna cause her some headache and eventually make her throw up. Tenya Ida from the Tenya family. A family of heroes, and the, younger brother of Ingenium. A great hero with the same quirk as you, Engine. The only different, he have his engines in his arms while you have it in your legs. And of course, Kirishima. Ejire Kirishima to be more precise. You don't have a lot going on with you. The only thing that makes you different is that you colored your hair from black into red. Wait, what? When did you know that? Besides, you have hurted yourself with your quirk when you were like 5 years old. Wait, alright, that's too much of a personal info. How do you, as Izuku just putting his hand on Ami's mouth said, excuse me and Ami need to have some privacy to talk about some important things and some strategies, and bye, as Izuku just grabbing Ami and ran off. Well, Kirishima's like, is my quirk really that weak? As Ida's like, when did she know all of that? As Uraka said, how does she know my full name? Midoriya really have a weird taste of friends, is he? First he was a childhood friend with Katsuki, Bakugo, and now with this girl. As Kirishima said, hey, you don't think like Midoriya and that girl are like, together? As Ida said, well, it seems unlikely. They seem quite a good friend. As Uraka said, wait, what did you say? As he said, they met like 1 week ago. Who knows what were they doing? Maybe they are more than just friends? Well, either way, I'll be happy for Midoriya anytime. But stopping talking about that, let's go. We still have a sports festival to attend, are we? Am I right? As Ida said, yes, you're completely right. Let's go. We should not be late. We already have spent enough time talking to each other. As Kirishima and Ida continue walking away, while Kirishima said, I wonder, what did Midoriya train on this last 2 weeks? As while they walking inside, Uraka is still standing there saying in her mind, more than friends? On the other side, with Midoriya and Ami, as Ami said, look, I didn't mean to scare them off, but I thought that telling them I was going to tell them they are blood types. As Izuku said, that's exactly the... Amy, listen here. You're hard to communicate with, alright? We already have that point established. But you can't just scare my friends away like that. Besides, I myself didn't know that Kirishima had black hair before. When did you figure that out? As Amy said, my mother knows how to collect lots of infos. I just asked her about that, and she gave me the notes. As Izuku said, well, you should tell your mother to stop scaring people like that, and maybe you should stop taking infos of them. Which is, bring up the question. As Izuku looking close into Amy saying, do you have any infos of me? As Amy, eyes widening a bit saying, of course not, I would never try to get into your personal life. Izuku? As Izuku said, do you have any notes of me? As Amy said, well, excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom. As she starts running away while Izuku said, hey, we still have a conversation! As she already left. And Midoriya said, man, she's fast. Man, why do I bother? As King Cart said behind Midoriya, I still don't trust her, Master. She's very, fishy. I feel like she's hiding something. I'm gonna keep a look for your back, don't worry. If she tried anything, please allow me to use violence. As Midoriya said, I'm not allowing you to use violence, King. Maybe Amy is a bit, well, weird in many ways, but she's still our friend. She's trying to do her best, even though that people telling her that she can't be the best. As Izuku looking at his hands, saying in his mind, even if she acts so weird, she reminds me of myself. If I didn't have some help from my mother, maybe I would have turned up just like her. Well, either way, no time to be sad, as Izuku, having his cheerful smile, looking up into the sky, screaming that he'll gonna show his best, and taking a deep breath, lying to himself that the life is perfect and everything is just rainbows and flowers, and walking into UA. After the preparations and all of that funny talk, Izuku and the rest of his class right now in the middle of the Sport Festival arena, and President Mike said, well, good morning everybody, and welcome to the Sports Festival of this year. Now, I hope that you all have got your pants up because this will be a very hard and breathtaking performance today. We have students from Class 1A, Class 1B, and the General Course and the other courses in the school that will gonna show up their quirks in a deadly battle against each other to see who will gonna surpass the rest. And I hope that you have your drinks and popcorn because this will be a very breathtaking performance. Now, let's get into Midnight that will gonna tell us the first part of this sport festival, shall we? As well, got into Midnight. As Midnight said, you're right, President Mike. Now, before we start, I want a word from the first place of this year in the entrance exam. And it shall be Izuku Midoriya, as Izuku suddenly eyes widening saying, wait, I got the highest score in the entrance exam? As Bakugo also staring at him saying, how the fuck? As Izuku said in his mind, wait, nobody told me that I'm supposed to prepare anything. They can't just throw me in like this. This is illegal. This must be a joke. But as President, inside his head, King Card said, calm down, Master. Just listen. I'm gonna say the words and you follow it, alright? If you don't mind. As Izuku said, do you have a plan? Well, it's more of a, how can we talk it? You just listen and I'll tell you the words and you just speak them out. If that's okay with you. As Izuku said, well, anything to save me from this situation. As Midnight said, come on up here and give us a speech, will ya? Show everyone what are you capable of. Show us some excitement, will you? As Izuku coming by the side of Midnight and holding the microphone, as he said, Good morning, gentlemen and ladies from all around Japan. Today you're gonna put your eyes and behold such an abnormal behaviors of such a low life forms that stand in front of you, being the students of UA. I hope that you all are prepared to watch me while I crush each and every single one of them with one hand behind my back. Because I hope that all of you are come here for not them but for me, and I promise you that I'm gonna put up a good performance. Now, before we start this, I wanna give a word into the students of UA. Please put up a good battle for me and make me look good. After all, what's a magician without a good help from his right hands? As everyone's suddenly looking daggers at Midoriya while Midoriya is... well... he said in his mind, "Why are you telling me to say this?" As King Card said, "I'm trying to show that we are the best here, aren't we?" As Midoriya said, "You're trying to kill me!" As Midnight said, "Well, it seems that someone is declaring war on the whole school, isn't it? And it's not just anybody. It's the same students of UA that in the last week saved about 150 people. Well, I hope that you are up to your words, Midoriya, because the students here are not any slow of easy targets," as all of them start booing him while Izuku gulping his throat saying, "King Card, when we done from this, me and you are having a serious long talk on using your word carefully." As King Card said, "Say whatever you want, Master, but you gotta admit, we proved our point and superiority." As Izuku going down slowly while shaking his knees, while everyone staring daggers at him until Midnight said, "Well, either way, let's cut into the first part of the sport festival, and it shall be... there's obstacle race." As, well, she said, "It will be an obstacle race. You all will gonna spin around this stadium in a circle. But don't worry, it's not just a simple race. It will gonna have lots of obstacles, from robots into other things that I will not gonna tell about. You are free to use your quirk as much as possible in any possible way, as long as you are on the track. Now, take your places in front of the gates." And cut back to you, President Mike, as President Mike said, "Thanks, Midnight. Now, before we start this, what do you think, Aizawa? What's your ideas on the students? What are they gonna do? And who's the first, and who's your expectations to be at the top?" As Aizawa said, "I don't really care. Let's just watch what will happen." Couldn't say it better than you. Now, can you guys count down with me? 3, 2, 1. Let's get this party started, shall we? As the gates just open and everyone starts rushing in. And Midoriya was about to rush in before King Card said, "Hold it. This gate is too small for us to fit. I'm sure that this is the first obstacle." As Izuku said, what? "Think about it, Master. They having such a small gate with lots of students in front of it. They are trying to see what we can do. So, how about we try a new technique that we learned in the last 3 days?" As Izuku said, "That technique? But it's under development, we can't..." As King Card said, "I can't force you to do it, Master, and I'm gonna listen to any orders you give me. But that's my thoughts. If we wanna avoid this obstacle and get into first place as quick as possible, we have to use that." As Midoriya said in his mind, "Well, I was hoping to keep it for the last match, but... alright." As Izuku said, "King Card." As King Card appeared in front of Midoriya, and he said, "At your orders, Master." As immediately, the moment that King Card appeared, he slashes his hand in front of him in the air, which created a card, but at the same time, suddenly, Izuku just jumped forward. It seemed like teleportation, but it's more of the space between him has been filled up by his own body. As King Card right now doing the same move again, which just skips the whole gates, getting them immediately into the race, while President Mike is like, "Hold it right there! Midoriya was at the back of this at this race before even getting through the gates, and now he's in front at the. What happened? Can you guys like get us redo that scene? As in the camera, they trying to see what's happened exactly. A moment Midoriya was standing there. The second he have already passed the gate. As Aizawa said, this is new, I didn't know about that. As President Mike said, well, what did I say? This will be a breathtaking performance, am I right? And it seemed that the first student of Class 1A first year, Izuku Midoriya, have pulled a new move on us. Let's see if he can keep up his first place. As Izuku continued to run while King Cardu continued to slash the air in front of him. And behind, Todoroki have already freezes the ground, freezing the students of the other general courses as he starts running while seeing Midoriya almost teleport in front of him rapidly in the air. As he said in his mind, when did Midoriya learn to do that? What a weird ability. As from behind, Todoroki only hearing an explosion, and from the explosion someone screaming saying, "Don't you fucking come back here, you bastard!" As Todoroki continued to, running while Baku said, "Deku!" As Izuku said, "I know that scream anywhere." As Baku said, "Don't you run away from me!" As King Car said, "Don't worry about him, master. Let that dog just bark as much as he wants. He won't be able to compete with us." As Izuku said in his mind, as much as I don't like how King Card is speaking, but he's kinda right. With this newfound ability of mine of turning the air between me and King Card into cards, it means that the space between us is empty, and it needs to be filled. I use this technique to teleport me around. It's almost like teleportation, but it's more like a dash. Either way, I don't see anybody be able to surpass me in the race now. As Izuku continued doing the same move over and over and over again, going through the robots there, and the place where there is a hole in the ground and all of the other places, and he just keeping doing the same move. King Card slashing the air in front of him, and he's not slowing down anytime soon. Bakugo and Todoroki are trying to keep up with him, but it's only the more that they try, the more that they know that Midoriya is just becoming even farther and farther away from them, until he finally managed to get through the race in the first place. And President Mike said, "Well, that's very underwhelming. As much as I would like to see some fights behind, Izuku Midoriya have managed to get into the end of the race in a new record. Well, sure, your students are pulling it off, am I right, Aizawa?" As Aizawa said, Izuku Midoriya sure have trained hard in the last 2 weeks if he can pull such a move like this. As Aizawa said in his mind, although, what was even that? I didn't understand what I was saying. Well, either way, let's get back to the rest of the students to see what they are doing. It seemed that Katsuki, Bakugo, and Todoroki and Shota Todoroki are still competing for the second place. And in the end, after the rest of the students continued their race, Todoroki have took the second place while Baku took the third. And now, Baku rushing into Midoriya saying, "What was that? You fucking piece of..." As King Card said, "Watch your words, filthy dog." As Baku just eyes whiting, and Midoriya said, "Shit, is he alright, King Card is truly trying to kill me at this point." As Baku was about to speak, but King Card continues saying, "Dogs like you should stay in the mud where they belong, playing with the dirt." As Izuku said, "King, you are nothing more than an angry Pomeranian that doesn't understand nothing more than throwing bombs at anybody that's annoying him. For the most part, you're more louder than an alarm system. Seriously, I do not blame your mother for slapping you every 2 seconds if you are that loud. I do not even know why do I bother talking to you. After all, you're just a dog, and a dog will continue barking without biting. That's what you are. A dog that only barks. No teeth, to bite with. As Bakugo is just getting a death glare into Midoriya as he said, I swear to God, you're gonna pay for these insults, Deku! As he just walking away. And Midoriya gulps his throats, while King Card said, well, I would say that this gone so smoothly. Wouldn't you agree, Master? As Izuku said, if I survive this, I'm gonna fucking... King Card. As King Card said, yes, Master? How many times should I tell you to watch your mouth? You're really trying to kill me, don't you? As King Card said, I was just trying to prove our superiority. I get it, just... I'm gonna cry. As King Card said, the only people that will gonna cry are the losers when we are gonna crush them. As Izuku said, yeah, whatever. As King Card just disappeared, and Midnight said, well, that was a very great performance from all of you. Now for the second part of the sport festival, and it shall be the Cavalry battle. Now, the Cavalry battle will be like this, as she starts explaining how teams will gonna be, and now, since the last performance, she told everybody their points. But for the first place, he will gonna have, since Izuku Midoriya have taken the first place at the last part of the sport festival, he will gonna have 10 million points, as all of them looking daggers into Midoriya, while Midoriya just feeling his heart about to jump out of his chest, as he said in his mind, alright, I can't take it anymore. I'm about to die. First of all, King Card telling me to say those horrible things at the start. And second, he start talking shit to Bakugo. And now this? Alright, see, I'm really dead. It was nice knowing you, world. Sorry, Mom, I'm not gonna be able to come back to dinner tonight. As Midnight said, well, it's a chance for those at the bottom to rise up into the top. After all, it's very hard to keep the #1 spots. And that's why we are doing this. As Izuku said in his mind, the only reason you are doing this is to kill me. Either way, you have 15 minutes to make your teams. Try to make it quick. And to bet a good plan, as everyone starts making up teams, while Midoriya is just looking left and right saying, alright, who will be on my team? As he looking to talk with Ida, as he said, Ida, would you like... Sorry, Midoriya, I cannot, I'm already in a team with Todoroki. As Izuku said, but... Sorry, as he just left. Kaminari, can you... excuse me, Oh, look, Katsuki, Todoroki is calling for me too. As Izuku's looking down saying, of course, nobody wanna make a team with me. Everybody knowing very well it's the only actual good sign is just to go and hunt me down, isn't it? I'm a big target with a freaking wanted poster on my back. As from behind, someone touching his shoulder saying, Izuku? As he turned around to see Oraka, and she said, if you want, I can be a team with you. As Izuku said, really? Will you really do that? As Oraka said, well, I mean, nobody seems to be wanting to make a team with you, so... As Izuku said, I'm really thankful. Thank you so much. As Oraka said, don't thank me. Either way, Izuku said in his mind, well, that's one. Now I need more. Who else? But before he continues, someone else touching his shoulder. And when Izuku turned around, he see Mei Hatsume, as she said, please make a team with me, first place. As Izuku said, who are you? As she said, my name is Mei Hatsume, and everyone is looking into you, so I need you to wear my babies. As Izuku said, wait, what do you mean by, as she just holding a jetpack saying, please wear them. Let me join your team. Everyone having their eyes on you, so that means that you are in the spotlight. And if I join your team, that means that I'll be in the spotlight, and more people will be able to see my babies in work, right? So please allow me to join your team. As Izuku said, oh, hold on a minute, As Izuku thinking about it for a minute and looking into the jetpack in her hand, as he said, wait, is this the jetpack of the 54th hero, Jethead? as she said, "Oh, so you know him?" As Izuku said, "I know him. He's using this support item to help him fly around so he can get into higher places while using his laser quirk to shoot enemies." As Mei Hatsume and Midoriya start talking a bit about Hiro as well, Uraka said, "Well, are those two getting well together?" Either way, as Izuku said, "Alright, you can join our team, Mei." As she said, "Alright." As Izuku thinking a bit, saying, "Although there is one, I think we need another one person on our team. The question is who? I mean, I think I have a good plan, but before he continue, Izuku hearing a sound saying, "Excuse me." As Izuku turning around to see Tokoyami saying, "Do you still have a place with you, Midoriya?" As Izuku said, "Tokoyami? What? You want to join to my team?" "Well, yes indeed." But why?" As Tokoyami summoning Dark Shadow and said, "You could say that maybe we are both kinda two faces for the same coin." As Izuku, while summoning his own King card, and King card said, well, isn't this getting a lot more interesting?" As after the 15 minutes have already ended, Mrs. Midnight said, "Alright everyone, have you made up your teams? Well, get ready. 3, 2, 1. And this is where I'm gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what do you think about this part and what do you think will gonna happen in the next part. Excuse me if my performance in this episode of narrating is a bit bad. It's been a lot of months since I last narrated. So, I'm gonna try to get myself back together. And don't forget about that one like that you owe me. Either way, I don't have anything more to say than Severed was here.